Hello, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome in. We're super excited you're all here. We'll give a couple minutes for people to trickle in, but in the meantime, we'd love to hear where you are all joining us from. So feel free to drop in the chat where you're calling from. Awesome. Welcome for those of you just popping in. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. Alrighty. Great. Well, we're about to get started. I'm going to introduce us. So my name is Lily. I'm a head of product here at Belong, and I am joined by Pradeep.
Hey, everyone.
Pradeep is one of the OGs here. Hi, Pradeep. He is our director of engineering, and he has been at Belong with us for about 4 years. So thank you again for joining. Today, we're going to talk about innovation in the property tech space. So just to set the stage, I know a lot of you might be wondering why, as a homeowner, would you care that your property manager is innovating? And really, innovation just means coming up with new solutions, new methods to solve customer problems. So since you and the residents living in your home are the customers of our property managers, of course, you would want them to be thinking about your issues, listening to them, and coming up with new solutions to make your lives better. So that's why Belong is very invested in innovating for you. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Great. So just to start off, a lot of you might be wondering about all the other property management options and why have they been stuck in the past and not innovating until real recently. So there's a couple of options when it comes to property management, and they each kind of have their own barrier to innovate. The first option, of course, is mom and pop property managers. These are pretty small and they're located in your community, but they usually only manage like 100, maybe 200 homes. So because of that, they really lack the scale to innovate. Innovating, of course, takes resources because you have to hire folks, you have to spend money on research and development. And when you only have a couple hundred homes, you usually can't make that investment back. And you also don't have kind of the systems and web present, even as a foundation to start innovating. The second option is, of course, larger property manager groups. You've probably seen these. They can operate across many cities, many states, and they do have the scale to be able to innovate. But a lot of these larger property managers, they don't really have the culture of innovation. They've often been, around for quite some time, and so they can have a motto of like, well, if it's not broken, let's not fix it. And that culture is not one that usually attracts engineers and designers and strategists, the people that you need to really take off and build new things. The next kind of group, let me move along this slide here. Yeah, sorry about this. Let me there we go. Kind of the next group of property managers is, of course, in the tech space. You've probably seen a lot of new players popping up here in recent years. And of course, this is the part that Belong is a part of. But we're really set up to do a lot more in this space than a lot of these other players. The first reason is that Belong is all encompassing. So as you can see here, there's a number of startups that just focus on one piece of property management, such as Zillow focusing on listing and searching. But Belong has the motto of like, just hand over your keys and we'll take care of everything having to do with your rental, including selling your home if you decide to do that. So this allows us to really address all parts of the journey and doesn't limit the scope of innovation for Belong. Secondly, Belong has been kind of the leader of tech property management with over 4 years experience. And we have some really strong investors here in Silicon Valley. So that enables us just to bring about really great talent. And with great talent, we can build good products and great solutions for you. So that is a little bit about kind of the background of these different options and why property management's been stuck in the past. I'm going to hand it over to Pradeep, who's going to talk about what exact innovations Belong has been bringing to the table to make your lives better.
Awesome. Thanks, Lily. So, like Lily mentioned, there are like existing technology solutions for property management, and maybe even some innovation is happening there. But there is an underlying problem with the property management tools itself or technology itself. If you look at a traditional property management softwares, they generally focus on like rent collection tools or like tools to replace residents or even like tools to perform home maintenance and maybe again some tools to empower you to take some actions, right? But then as you can see, like all of these actions are very fragmented. And what happens, like for example, if a rent is missed by the resident, or what happens when a costly repair like a roof leak comes through, then there is no peace of mind for you as a homeowner, and your cash flow becomes very unpredictable, which is stressful, right? So Belong is different, and the way we think about it is like we kind of build technology which unites everything, like which talks, all the systems talk to each other so that we can make the best decision for you as a homeowner. And with that, like today we'll look at two innovations which can kind of provide you a stable income stream or cash flow for your beautiful home, right? So our first innovation is Belong guaranteed rent payments. So with this, what we can do is once a resident is placed by Belong, you as a homeowner don't have to worry about any missed payments by the resident, or like you don't have to worry about residents breaking their lease, which can result in a vacancy, again a problem. So with this guaranteed rent payments, whatever happens with the resident, homeowners receive their rent payment, period, right? So if you look at the technology behind this, how can we do this? This is all possible because of our robust resident application processing technology, which does a detailed income, credit, background, and eviction checks. So we built our own algorithms to detect any anomalies when we are doing these checks. So for example, we just don't check for like a good credit score. We actually look into income to debt ratio, existing loans, number of credit lines, any missed payments, reference checks, interviews, and much more, right? So with this, we are very confident with our residents, and with this technology behind us, we can actually also offer you like the entire year upfront, because we are so certain with our technology that you can choose to get the entire year rent upfront with this innovation. So that is our first innovation, and then the next one is like our financial innovation, which we call it as a split it, which basically solves the second part of the cash flow problem, which is like, we understand that financial empowerment is a major reason why homeowners come to Belong. One problem we keep hearing from our homeowners was that they were very financially stressed, like when an unexpected or expensive repair comes through, right? So many homeowners don't have that extra money to pay for that right away. So in the last few months, we launched a new product called Split It to help in this situation. With Split It, what you can do is like when an expensive repair happens, you can basically choose to pay it over multiple months instead of all at once. So for example, if you have $1,000 repair, you can split it across how many ever months you want. And then, you can basically split it over 10 months. It will cost you $100 a month, and it'll be automatically taken over from your rent payment. Again, you don't have to pay anything out of your pocket. And this is all possible, again, because of our in-house payment processing technology, which is integrated with all other parts of the system, like rent collections, lease terms, maintenance payments. So when all of these are integrated, we know what is happening with your home, and we can make the best decision for you. So, but at the end of the day, like, you may need an annual upfront, or you may need split it. Completely depends on your needs, right? But the most important thing is the flexibility our technology and innovations offer. Like, we know that every home is different, the needs are different, and if you go to a traditional property management, they cannot do this for you because their systems don't allow you to do this. They don't have the technology to handle such complexity. So that's where, like, our innovations basically help you to simplify all of these processing, right? And lastly, like, it's very important that a good technology hides all of these complexities from our homeowners and residents. That's where our beautiful and powerful apps comes into the picture. both homeowners, we know that both homeowners and residents have a lot going on in life. So having to sit in a computer, log into a website, report something in a home, or even looking at your earnings is probably not the most convenient way. And this is the standard experience you actually get with traditional property management. Like you have to log into a portal, right? So instead, Belong built our own app for both homeowners and residents, and you can download it on your app. On your phone and access everything on the go. So, and also another important thing is, since this is an in-house app, we control all the experience, and we make new features or releases every 2 to 3 weeks, and it makes life better for everyone. So now I'll give it back to Lily, who's going to blow you away with the demo of our Belong app.
Thanks, Pradeep. Awesome. So I'm going to walk you through what it would look like if you were a Belong community member and using our app. So the first thing we really wanted to accomplish with the app was making it super easy for you to understand what's happening at your home and get updates when new things were occurring. So if you open your Belong app, the first thing you'll see is a little bit of the details on who is living in your home and what is the state of the lease. So as you can see here, this homeowner has a lease that started on July 14th for a year, and the monthly rent is $4,000. The other thing that all of our Belong homeowners get is they all get their own concierge. And this is somebody who knows the most about their home and can help problem solve difficult situations or answer your questions. And right here in the app, you can see that your concierge is Caleb, which makes it easy for you to reach out and contact them if needed. So now I'm going to click Show More, which is right below Caleb's photo. And here's just even more information about the residents and the lease. So you can see in this home, Randy and Tyler are the residents with their 10-year-old Nathan and their dog Alfred. And there's more details here about deposits and things associated with the lease. I know a lot of homeowners are interested about the residents and the people living in their home, and a lot of our residents are eager to tell you about them. So if you click on one of these residents, you can see their profiles and learn a little bit more about them. In this case, you can see Randy, his profile picture, where he's from, and his blurb that he wanted to share with you about him. So that gives you a sense of like a little bit of what's going on at your home. This is what it looks like for somebody who we've already reached the state of having a lease and having the residents move in. But before that, Belong works really closely with homeowners to make sure that any empty home gets leased as quickly as possible. And in that state, you'll also be able to use the app to understand where you are in the process. So for an example of a homeowner whose home is still listed, you would open the app and be able to see all of the websites that we have put your home on to make sure that it's well marketed out. And you can even click View My Listing to see just the beautiful photos and see what all of the potential residents are looking at when they view your home. If you scroll down here, you'll notice that every home also has a timeline, and that's what is shown here. And this timeline shows the 5 steps that we take from vacancy to get the home leased, which we call loved, and make sure that we're collecting rent. And when your home is in this process, you can see which steps we've already completed and go back and see when they happened, as well as what's next. So in this screenshot, you can see that we've already completed a complimentary inspection, and you can see the dates when that happened. We've already completed home success reports, and now we're busy prepping the home for the market. During each of these steps, we also have experts inside of Belong who are really good at helping homes get through each of these steps. And we'll show you straight in the timeline who is your point of contact that can help you. So for example, during the complimentary inspection step, you were working with Brooklyn. And now that you're prepping the home for the market, we have assigned Caleb, who is an expert at making your home look really awesome and generate a lot of demand. So you can always come back to this timeline to understand exactly what's going on with your home. The next thing that, of course, is very important for homeowners is all about the earnings and the cash flow on their home. So we have a whole tab dedicated to earnings, which is what you're seeing here. On top of this, you can see the accounts that you can add as a homeowner, and these are accounts that you can use both to receive rent and also to pay for any repairs. So you can set those up straight in your app. Below that, we always show you all of any upcoming charges or upcoming income that you'll be receiving. So we want to make sure that you have heads up on what is going on in the home as it pertains to money. And you can see here there's a sink repair as well as a gardening session that are upcoming and need to be paid soon. Pradeep talked a little bit about Split It, and so you'll see Split It here, which is if you don't want to pay for this sink repair out front because it is $300, you can split it across multiple months. And here in the app is exactly where you do that and where you'll be able to choose how many months you want to split it across. So that's Split It. And then below that, we have a list of all the past earnings related to your home. So anything in the past that has occurred around money, getting paid or paying for any repairs will be visible here as well. And you'll always be able to come back here and review those. The next part of the app that I'll touch on is what we call Pro Services. So this is related to every kind of maintenance request, repair request, any upgrades, any construction work really happening at the home. You can manage all of that here in Pro Services. And I showed a kind of couple different sections that we have in this Pro Service that will pop up depending on what's going on at the home. So the first one is any work that needs your approval. So if something expensive is broke at the home, for example, we have a water heater issue showing here. You can click in, see the details of what exactly the resident has reported or what exactly is going on at the home. And you can review our estimated cost and approve the work or decide to talk to us about it a little bit more. So that's available to you here really easily from the app. The second section we have is upcoming visits. So anytime we're coming to the home in the next few days, we'll show you exactly what that visit is here. In this case, we have some baseboards that we're going to come replace, and you can click in to learn more about which person is going to come to your home to fix them and exactly when they'll be showing up. And then any past or in progress Pro Services that are not upcoming soon, you'll see them all listed below. So again, you can reference any work that has happened in the past. So mostly, when you're a homeowner, a lot of these requests come from the resident if things are breaking in the home, but we also want to empower you to ask Belong to go and do things in the home. So you can request that we go repair something, haul something out of the home, as well as install upgrades, such as like an EV Tesla charger or a Nest thermostat. So all of these are available to you here. And one thing I'm going to touch on our teaser here is one thing that we'll be adding really soon to the app is the ability for you in that exact place to start doing preventative or reoccurring work at your home. So a lot of homeowners, of course, don't know exactly what they need to do to maintain their home, or even if you do, it's hard to find the people who can trust to go and do it. So right here in the Belong app, you'll be able to sign up for all of these services like pest control, gardening, pool cleaning, decide what frequency you want those to happen, and Belong will send out our team of pros to make it happen. So this is a little teaser. It's not in the app yet, but this is exciting and coming in the next few months. And as Pradeep said, we're always trying to improve our app and make it better. And that's one of the reasons why it's so powerful for us to have one. So this is just an example of the kind of new stuff that we'll be adding from time to time. Alrighty, so that is the whole app demo. Pradeep also mentioned we have an app for our residents, which we are not demoing today, but it is available for all the folks who would live in your home to get a lot out of their property manager as well and make it easy for them to pay rent. So we have, brought this technology to both sides of the marketplace there. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We do have a little bit of time for some questions. So if you are interested in asking a question, you can do so in the chat section. And I see we have a couple already. Pradeep, do you want to take one?
Yep, I'll start with the first one. The first two are kind of similar. What is the fees on splitting payments? So today we charge a 9% APR on the total amount you want to perform split it on.
Great, thank you. Awesome. I'll move on to the next question, which is from Henry. Thank you, Henry. Will we be able to get Belong to perform these services on our personal residence and not just our rental properties? Pradeep, you want to take that one?
Yeah, today, we do allow our pro services. So basically, we have our pro services, which is our, our maintenance technicians perform any repairs or jobs for our belong homes. We do have that functionality where you can request for a pro service in your current residence. We do have the functionality, so we can send you a link where you can request for a pro service at your own residence. For recurring, we don't have it yet, but something for us to think about and see if we can enable for everyone.
Cool. And one more thing just to touch on with Belong Pros. So unlike a lot of other property managers who only work with vendors, we have our own in-house team, as you may know, of pros that are like full-time employees and are fully vetted. So they do great work, and yeah, they're eager to get things going at your home. All right, the next question I can take, which is all about notifications. I see there's two super similar. What types of notifications do homeowners receive via the app? And do we get a notification alert if there is a repair? So yes, I'll go over a couple groups of notifications. The first one is all around pro services. So exactly that. If there's a new repair request from a resident, a new pro service is created, you will get a push notification. You'll be able to click on it and read exactly, what's the description of the issue. So we do give you a notification anytime things change with the pro service. You'll also receive push notifications around finances. So if there's a new charge at the home, you'll receive a push notification that something will need to be paid. And similarly, when you get paid, you'll be receiving notifications so you can keep really good track of your finances. And then another group of notifications we have is when you're onboarding your home. As I talked about, there's 5 steps that we take to get your home from vacant all the way to leased and loved. And as we're making progress in those steps, you'll get notified. So if we've published your listing, for example, or we've completed any repairs that we needed on your home, you'll get notified that that step has completed, and you can go in the timeline and learn more. Great. How much does everything cost, and what states and cities are you in? Do you want to take that, Pradeep?
Yeah. So we do have multiple models based on different regions. So for example, if we are looking at California, our management fees, so we have a standard management fees and placement fees. That's all we have. So our management fees is 8%, and we have a 50% placement fee. And that's pretty much it, and everything else comes along with it. The mobile app is free, the rent guarantee comes along with it. You have the ability to split it along with it. So only thing which we have in terms of the cost is the management fees and the placement fees. And again, like I said, it is different based on the regions or the cities we are in. But in the Bay Area, it is 8%. For example, in LA, it is 6%. So which you can check it on our website. We have all the breakdowns. And
yeah, and
yeah.
Go ahead, Pradeep.
No, sorry, I was going to the next question, but you can cover anything if you want.
Oh, just one more thing on the states and cities that we're in. So you can look on our website. We're often launching new places, which is really exciting. But in California, we are in San Diego, LA, Ocean County, and San Francisco. In Washington, we're in Seattle. And then we're also opening up some Florida markets. So we're in Miami and Orlando right now. But again, consult our website because you can always see there what regions we're coming to next. Alrighty, next question. At the end of the year, will homeowners get a financial breakdown of yearly earnings and expenses? Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. Sure. Yes. Yeah. So at the end of the year, we provide the yearly earning report, and also we take care of filing the taxes to IRS through the 1099. So we take care of all those for you.
Awesome. Can I get a recording of this demo? We will need to get back to you on that one. I'm not sure that we have that, but if we do, we will follow up with you, Michael. Cool. Do we get billed for pro services? So there's a couple different types of pro services, and also as Belong, we work really hard to figure out kind of like who's responsible for each one. So for example, if you as a homeowner have requested that something be hauled from your home, or you want to install something at your home, of course, you will pay for those. If the resident is reporting a repair or they want to upgrade something in the home, this is where we'll investigate to see where responsibility lies. Of course, if something's just kind of like functionally broken the home, often that is the responsibility of the homeowner. But for things that the resident wants to do, like if they want to put in their own EV charger, maybe they have an EV car, that would be on the responsibility of the resident. So it's a little bit depends and based on like the nature of the work and who's involved. Cool. Is there a surcharge for using pro services to get my home rent ready, or any maintenance or reoccurring preventative maintenance?
No. So we operate at the market prices. We don't add any markups. So we have our in-house pros who take care of all of this for us. As we do use vendors in some cases, but there is no surcharge. It is the standard parts and labor, which are the same as the market price. We don't do any markups.
Cool. That's similar to the next question. Are your vendors vetted? So yeah, as Pradeep said, most of our work we do with our in-house pros. Sometimes something really specialized and needs attention at your home and we want to use a vendor. And so yes, we have a team that does a really great job of vetting all of the vendors and making sure we develop great partnerships with the best vendors in your city to use those ones when we have to. All right, you mentioned that you go beyond credit reports to make decisions about renters. What other data sources do you use to perform this prediction?
Yeah, I mean, so there are a couple of things. One is, what are all the different checks we are doing, right? So yes, credit check is one, and on top of it, of course, we do the ID check to make sure the legal information is correct. And then we do the income check, which we do it in multiple ways. One is, of course, we look into their bank account and see how much income they are getting. Or, if, for example, if, we can use their pay stubs to know, the actual income they are making. So we do the income check. We also do a full-blown background check. We do a criminal and eviction check. And we also get a reference from their previous homeowner if they rented before. And also we do a personal interview with everyone above 18 living in that home. So those are all the different checks. But then when we look at the credit report itself, right, the important thing is we don't just look for the credit score. Yes, they might have a good credit score, but then currently they might not have the same income. So we see how much credit lines they have in their credit report and see how much money is coming into their bank account and see if those two are matches. And so, for example, someone could have 200K in their bank account, right? But it is possible that they might buy something the next day with it, and then they don't have any income, right? So those are the 5 big checks we do, and then on top of it, we combine those checks to make an informed decision of should we give the home to this resident or not.
Yeah, and of course, we want to do a thorough job not only to ensure that somebody can pay their rent, but we're looking for somebody who will treat your home really well and want to stay in that home for a long time, because of course that makes your lives easier and will reduce any vacancy. So we definitely have an eye towards that as well. Okay, we only have 2 minutes left. We have a lot of questions, which is great. So I'm going to try to rapid fire some of these, which means we won't get to all of them. But if we don't get to your question, we'll make sure to follow up with it. Thanks again for coming and asking. So easy question here is, are you planning on expanding to Las Vegas and Dallas? Yes, you can see all of our coming soon regions on our website, and these are included there. So we hope to be able to come to these cities, but in the meantime, you can still go to our website, express interest, and we will reach out to you when we are live there. Okay, next quick question. We can maybe get to one more. Does the home need to be vacant before we start the process? We're planning to move out in 6 weeks, but want to get the ball rolling. Yes, you can get the ball rolling with Belong, even if you're still in your home, because we have a little bit of an onboarding process that we can get going with you. So definitely visit our website. The one thing is that we do a very thorough inspection of your home, totally free, it's complimentary. And for that, we need the homes to be empty, because otherwise we might miss something. We might not see something that's, needs attention because it's blocked by some furniture. And of course, we want to be able to do a really great job with all of our inspections to give you proper results and make sure we have a great plan for getting your home listed. So still get the ball rolling, but that'll be kind of the step where you'll need to move out of your home to make sure we can do a great job. Great. Thank you so much for everybody who came. Sorry we didn't get help to all the questions, but we will reach back out to you, and we hope you learned a lot about Belong and property tech innovation.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.